Hello everyone and welcome back to Toolaholics Anonymous. As you can see here, I have quite a collection of pliers already, but over the last couple of weeks I've been purchasing a few more of various prices. As you can see here, we have an engineer set. They cost me £23. This set here I got from GearBest, cost me around about £7. And this set here, these are all 8" by the way guys, and this set here cost me £1. How much? Yes, that's right, £1 for a brand new pair of 8" combination pliers. How did I manage that one then? Poundland, that's how come I managed that one. I've been in there for a few weeks now and I've seen these on the shelf, and they do seem to have quite a considerable turnover of these pliers. One week I went in there and they were hanging on the shelf in like half a packet, so you could get all the levers and give them a tweak, and I thought, yeah, I don't know about those. When I purchased these ones, they were in a complete pack, fully packed over in a little bubble pack. And again this week when I went in there this Saturday, they were in the half pack again, so they do seem to have quite a considerable turnover of these pliers. Now obviously I don't normally spend £1 on a set of 8" pliers for obvious reasons. Are they going to be any good? Well, we'll find out. Normally I like to spend a little bit more and get a decent set of pliers. But anyway, so these are £1, okay? Brand new for £1. I have been recently visiting car boot sales where you can find boxes and boxes of pliers, old pliers like these, for £1 each, if not less, sometimes 50p. All these three cost me £1 each, guys. So I got to thinking, which pair of £1 pliers are going to be the best? Could it be something like these little fellows here from the boot sale, or will it be a brand new set from Poundland? First of all, let's just take a look at the what to look for in pliers at a boot sale. Of the three pairs you see here, this set I've selected for the test because they happen to be the best of the three, really, to be honest with you. The cutting section here is fairly tight, as you can see from the photograph, so we should be able to do some decent wire cutting with them. The jaws are a little worn in places, but you know, you expect that. I mean, these could be I don't know, anything 50 years or older. This little set here, I mean, these are 8" long. They're the same as that's why I've chosen them. They're the same as these ones here, more or less. These ones are a little bit shorter, however the wire cutting section, the jaws are very worn, so somebody's been trying to cut something far too hard in there. They do have wire cutters on the sides here, as do this set here. We have wire cutters in here as well. In theory, so do the Poundland pliers. They seem to have a very shallow wire cutting. We will see what they're like later on. These ones work quite nicely. They're not too loose. The ones I've selected for the test are quite loose. I don't know if you can see that going on there, but they are quite loose in the jaw department. They do wobble about quite nicely. The jaws in here are not too bad. They're not too worn at all. They look quite nice. It's just the wire cutters in here that are worn away. This set here are considerably rusty and grubby, as you can see. They do actually have a government arrow marking on them here, and I believe underneath that we have a year, which I think is 1940 something. I will be cleaning these up at some point or another. We'll get another look at them, a better look at them when they're nice and clean. The cutting edge here, very clean. I don't think it's ever been used, and the jaws are quite nice as well. Their little teeth look quite nice in there. However, these ones, they are absolutely seized solid and you can't do a thing with them. So if you're looking for a pair of pliers at a boot sale and you don't fancy cleaning them up or lubing them up, I wouldn't bother purchasing ones that are seized solid, because they might not work. I mean, I don't know if these are going to work yet, but they are a future project of mine to clean up. Let's take a look at the two contenders in today's competition then. These old things here As I say, they're a little bit loose and they do rattle a little bit. Have a listen. They're rattling around well there. They appear to be marked as foreign. It's got foreign stamped just here. They're quite heavy. We'll try the weight of the two later on. These things here are, I would say, thrown together in China somewhere, because I just picked these ones off the shelf at random just to buy for £1. I didn't go through checking to make sure, you know, looking for the best ones. I just grabbed a pair at random, and it was these little fellas here. And to be quite honest, they're fairly atrocious, to be honest with you guys. And for a start, if we look just here, you can see there's indentations where it's been like, because these are obviously drop forged, I would imagine, unless they're a casting of some description or another, but drop forged possibly. You can see there's marks in here. This is not nice at all. It doesn't look very good at all. Also, just here we have, hopefully you can see that, we have some coloration going on here, and that's from the machining. They've got it too hot, and that shouldn't be occurring either, because that can affect the tempering of the steel in some way or another. It might make them a bit soft, but that's not a good sign either, guys. There's lots of horrible sharp edges about. And the other thing is, once I got them out of the packaging, I did try to open them. I've not opened them properly yet. They are opening a little teeny weeny bit, as you can see here, as you can see here. But they felt absolutely awful. There was lots of weird sort of gravelly grating noises going on. What I'll do is I'll get a microphone up close to them, and we can have a listen, see if we can actually hear the noise they're making, and I'll open them for the first time. Right, let's open them up and see if we get that horrible grating noise again. God, they're horrible. They're stiff as anything. Can you hear that grating noise? They're loosening up a bit now. What's this? That's a little bit of oil in there then. So they've actually been lubricated at the factory, which is a good sign. Perhaps they've coated them with some sort of lacquer to protect them from corrosion in transit. They are loosening up quite nicely now. They're not very nice. They do feel as rough as anything, to be honest with you. You might be able to see they're not closing smoothly there. Horrible things. As you can see, unlike the car boot specials, the handles on these have a nice coating to them, a nice little jackets. I very much doubt whether these are in any way, you know, to prevent you getting an electric shock, so I certainly wouldn't use them on live circuits, to be honest with you guys. They're just to make them look nice. But if we take a look at the moulding going on here, you'll see once again it's crap. Right, so as I say, the overall fit and finish on these things is horrible anyway. We've got all this lot going on in here, which is just awful. As you can see, there's lots of flashing going on the plastic here. Lots of nice rough edges. As you can see, look at that. It's horrible. And of course we've got this lump here. I don't know what that's all about, I'm sure. That doesn't look too clever either. I don't know whether there's a lump of metal from the plier handles here or what underneath there. You can see there's lots of flashing at the ends here, look. They're just, well, I mean, they are £1, come on. So what do you expect? Another thing to take note of with the handles is, the ones on mine are actually twisted. Look at that. Unbelievable. So you get this rocking motion going on. They really are appalling. I mean, I wouldn't want to pay any more than £1 for these, to be honest with you. This is the older set. As I say, they are a little bit loose on the pivot. You might be able to see that. I think you can just about see it all wobbling about there, guys. How loose the joint is. I wonder if we can do something about that. Let's have a look. Right, so I've got the pliers. Here we are on this metal block here. There's the little pivot. We'll put this nut on there, on the pivot, and I'm going to hit it with a hammer and see what we can do, guys. Right, I think we're going to be better off using a hydraulic press, and I don't have one of those, but I've tightened them up a little bit. They're a lot better than they were, guys. Didn't take much doing. A few taps from a hammer and what have you. They feel a little bit better anyway. Okay, so these things are probably in the region of 50 years or more old. They look a bit rough, but the original fit and finish on these would have been hugely better than the £1 pliers from Poundland. But then again, you know, you'd have probably paid a lot more for these back in the day. I think what we ought to do is give them a few tests. So you can see, if you look in here, you can actually see the jaws are a little worn. That's probably from many years of hard use. It'd be interesting to see how long the jaws on this £1 pair of pliers would last. We're going to find out. Right, I'm going to start with the cutting jaws. See what the cutting jaws on these fellas are like. And I've got this twin and earth here. This is the larger stuff that we use in the mains over here in the UK. Let's see how well the pliers can chop their way through that. And I'm going to start with the old set of pliers here. There's probably 50 years plus. Probably my age or older, I guess. Right then, let's have a look. Blimey. They made it through. What about the Poundland pliers then? Let's give them a go. Cutting the same material. Hop. A little bit easier. A little bit easier to chop through. They cut through it. Give them another go. Still going. So I don't mind cutting through copper and a bit of insulation then. Still going. Oh, blimey. Hang on, what's going on now? Hope they're not beginning to dull. It wouldn't surprise me, to be honest with you. No, it's still going. Right, next up I'm going to give them both a go with these here nails. You can see how big they are from this photo I'll just put up. And, well, let's see how both of them get on cutting nails up. Let's go for the old pair here first. Get them in there, and they've done it. And they've done it again. It doesn't appear to have damaged the jaws at all. Right then, give these ones a go, see what they do. Whether they can take it or not. Blimey. They're pinging nails all over the place actually, to be honest with you guys. Any damage to the cutting surface? Blimey, none at all. Surprising. Although on closer inspection I think there is some little bit of denting going on here. I think you can just about see it there. So there's a little dent in the cutting jaws there. What about the older pair of pliers? Here you can see the dents, look. Well, I can't see any dents or indentations at all. Right then, so I'm going to say a win for the old pliers then. No damage to the cutting jaws, and these have started to get indentations already, so I can't see they're going to cut hard stuff for very long at all. Okay then, so what about bending things? I've got some fairly hefty nails here. Let's pop one in the vise and see how the vintage pliers get on. Let's give them a go. Yep, they've got a nice grip. Got a replacement nail here. Let's try the extra cheapy pliers from Poundland. Can they get hold of it? Let's have a look. Oh yes, they can. They're doing a fairly decent job of that. What about a nut and bolt? Try that. This is a fairly largish one. I think this is M8 is what we got here. let's get the older vintage pliers on. As you can see, it's nice and loose, guys. Let's tighten it up with the vintage pliers first. Here we go, we've got a bite here. Right, let's give it a go. Gets quite a bit of pressure on it, as much as we can get. Oh, it's just slipped. And again, it's tight. And we got it undone again. Any damage to the probably what we've got going on in here then. Same M8 nut and bolt. I haven't tried these yet, so there's no damage to the teeth in here at the moment. Let's get out the nut. Let's see what we can do. So we can get some torque here. Oh, slipped. In fact, you can't. Hang on. Just have a look at how much the handles flex here. Yep, that's the handles flexing. Let's continue then. So loose and tight. It's slipped. Slipping. It's slipping more than the vintage pliers were. Right. Oh yes. Oh yes. I thought so. Right. If we look at the vintage pliers here, which are already worn, you can see there's a little bit of more wear going on just here. It's a job to see really if they've worn or not. I mean, because today that is, but they're already a little bit worn away, as you can see. Let's check out the £1 from Poundland. And well, just look at this, guys. Look at the damage already inflicted right now. Look at this. I don't think that's off the nut either. This is the teeth folding over. Right, and so after those tests, I mean, we've seen the how flexible the handles are, which is not something you get on the vintage ones. It's even more rubbishy in the way it opens and closes. A bit looser. I mean, it can be. They can stick. Every now and again, they'll stick. One thing we have not tried out is these wire cutters in here. We've got the same idea in the vintage ones here, so let's get a bit of a copper wire and pop in there, shall we, guys? Alright, let's try this copper here. Pop it in this side. Chops. Cuts it up nicely. What about the other side? Okay, so this is how the little cutters work on the vintage pliers. These things don't look like they'll cut butter, to be honest with you. Are they going to open far enough to get anything in there? Just about. Blimey. Right, see if we can get it in there. Right, and I've got it in there, guys. Let's have a look. Oh, no, it won't. It just pushes them up and away. Not doing a thing. What about this side? Can we even get it in this side? Right, and so basically we've got fake wire cutters. This is how they should work, like this. But they're not doing a thing. They're just there for show. And there's no, they're not going to grip the wire at all. So basically, there's no point in them being there. Okay then. So basically, it's a win all round for the vintage pliers that I picked up for £1 from a car boot sale. These things, no, I don't think so really, guys. They, as I say, they do seem to have a very high turnover in Poundland for these things. They're always changing them out every week. They've always got different packaging. Now whether it is because people are using them, breaking them, damaging them and bringing them back for replacement, I don't know. Oh, I wonder if they have a lifetime warranty on them from Poundland. If they do, they're going to get through an awful lot of them and warranty replacements alone. Yeah, I think honestly, to be honest with you guys, you'd probably be better off to go to a boot sale and go diving through the boxes that you see there. Sometimes they're a 50p, sometimes they're £1. This particular pair cost me £1. They are quite loose. I've tried to tighten them up. Didn't really succeed. I think what we really need is a hydraulic press. But I think you'd be better off to go around a boot sale, look in all the boxes, check out what kind of wear and tear we've got in the jaws here. I mean, we've seen this one is already fairly well worn from its lifetime of usage. I don't know what company made these. It just says, I think it says foreign on them just there, to be honest with you. Just make sure, you know, if you buy some, just check in here, make sure this is closed up enough to actually cut stuff, because if they're damaged in any way, they're not going to cut metal at all. The teeth they won't grip particularly well, but as we've seen, these old things, as I say, they could be 50, 60 plus years old. I don't know how old they are, probably older than I am, and I was born in 1960, and they're still going. Maybe they could do with a bit of a clean up. You know, you could get a wire brush to them, probably a bit of emery paper. They will clean up. There we go, see they've cleaned up a little bit even there, look. So you can clean them up. And I personally think these old things are £1 better spent than these things from Poundland. As I say, these are atrocious. You know, fit and finish is dreadful. That's interesting. It's got really rough just here where the little joint is. It's got really rough there where we've been using it, so it's beginning to... Blimey, look at it. Just look how that is deformed during my testing. That shouldn't be happening at all. No wonder they're so rough. Blimey, that's just dreadful. Absolutely awful. And taking it also into account, we've got all this lot going on here too. It's a very poor finish. Falling apart already, and I've only been using them a few moments, just a few little tasks. I mean, I don't know whether you'd class them as a disposable pliers. I don't really know, guys, but alright then, so I will let you make your own mind up as to which pliers you would rather get, whether you'd rather purchase. I mean, yes, you can walk straight into Poundland and you can pick a pair of these up brand new for £1. I've only been giving them a little bit of usage and they're already started to wear away, so I don't think they're going to last. Well, they certainly won't be around the amount of time these ones have. I'd say this could be 50, 60, 70 years old. I really don't know how old these are, and they're still going and they're still useful. They weigh a lot more than these things do. Yeah, you make your own mind up, guys, but I personally would rather go to a car boot sale, dive through all the boxes, being careful of course, because you might get sharp objects in those boxes. I always take a pair of these gloves along when I go diving through the boxes, because they're nice and strong and leather, and they will protect your hands from not only because some of these tools here are really quite dirty and oily and greasy, so they'll protect your hands from getting dirty. They'll also protect your hands from any potentially sharp objects that might be kicking about in these boxes. Okay then everyone, so please let me know what you think of this review. Would you prefer to purchase pliers from a boot sale for £1 or 50p, maybe even less? I don't know. There are bargains to be had at these places. Just dive around in the boxes and have a look. There's one stall I visit, well, a couple of stalls I visit, they have them just piled in like little boxes, little plastic boxes, and you can just dive around and see what you can find in there. You know, as I say, yes, you can walk straight into Poundland and buy these. To be honest with you, I'd much rather spend a little bit more money on a decent set of pliers. As I say, these ones, I've not tested these ones out yet. I got these in from GearBest only the other week. Sorry, my boiler's just booted up in here, guys. Yeah, I only bought these from GearBest the other week. They were around about £7, I believe, 8-inch pliers. These I got from Amazon, £23. They're made in Japan, these ones, and they feel real quality as well. These ones here I purchased more than a decade ago from a tool company that I used to work for. We used to get quite a good discount on the tools. These are quite nice, stainless, nice finish, run quite nicely. And I also got these from the same company as well, and these are a nice pair of slip joint pliers. I can't remember how much they were, to be honest with you, because it was quite a while ago now, but they're certainly not cheap and nasty. These two actually have a lifetime warranty on them as well. So okay, so today's winner then, the £1 car boot vintage pliers. a lot better quality, longer lasting. Well, you can see how long they've lasted because they've got to be 50, 60 years old, if not more. These things will never ever make it to that kind of age unless, of course, you leave it in the packaging all that time, and then they will last that sort of length of time. But you've seen from the little bit of usage I've given them, they're starting to show signs of bending and, you know, general weakness. It's almost as if they're made of tempered paper mache, to be honest with you. Alright then guys, well thanks for watching. Please let me know what you think of the test and the results and the pliers. Have you purchased some of these? What do you think of them? Do you buy your pliers from boot sales? Are they any good? Have you had any bargains? I know I have. Alright then guys, thanks for popping over. I hope you'll pop back again, and I will see you again laters.
Ruff, ruff.